According to the New York Times morning newsletter published on January 4th, written by David Leonhardt, American children are starting 2022 in a crisis. The American Academy of Pediatrics recently declared a national state of emergency in children's mental health. They cited dramatic increases in ER visits for all mental health emergencies. Suicide attempts have risen, slightly among adolescent boys, but sharply among adolescent girls. The number of ER visits for suspected suicide attempts by 12 to 17-year-old girls rose by 51% from early 2019 to early 2021, according to the CDC. Gun violence against children has also increased as part of a broader, nationwide rise in crime. In Chicago, for example, 101 residents under age 20 were murdered last year, up from 76 in 2019. School shootings have also risen. The Washington Post counted 42 last year in the U.S., the most on record, and up from 27 in 2019. Behavior problems have increased. Schools across the country say they're seeing an uptick in disruptive behaviors. Some are obvious and visible, like students trashing bathrooms, fighting over social media posts, or running out of classrooms. Others are quieter calls for help, like students putting their head down and refusing to talk. On top of these devastating statistics, in a recent LA Times piece on the mental health crisis in youths across the country, it was stated that about 167,000 children under the age of 18 have lost a parent or other in-home caregiver to COVID-19, and this statistic is doubled in Black and Latino children. Our children are facing a mental health crisis like they have never faced before. What are we going to do? The kids are not okay. Three, two, one. Hi everyone, my name is Bonesso and I am a mental health advocate. I am also a school visitor. I spent the last 10 years going into schools all over the country with my anti-bully rock and roll band, the Josh and Gab Show, where we just spread a message of kindness and empathy. But right now, my big concern for children across our country is the mental health crisis and what we can do as adults. Now, not every adult has a child of their own. I don't have a child. I have a godchild, but I don't have my own child. But I have friends with kids. I see kids. I perform for kids. And what I'm saying is we need to, first of all, check in with the kids, see how they're doing emotionally, how they're feeling, what they're thinking, letting them know that thinking and feeling are two separate things. And sometimes our emotions can change the way we're thinking. We also have to let kids know that there are resources for mental health and that there is no shame in seeking therapy. None at all. We have to end the stigma. We have to make sure kids know that it's totally okay to have resources, to have help, to have tools during this difficult time. Now, I'm someone who went through a lot of trauma. I went through trauma as a child and I've gone through trauma as an adult. And the one thing I can tell you is having tools to deal with the trauma while you're in it changes the course of your emotion and your thinking and how you deal with trauma. I had no tools as a child, and that's why I suffered long into adulthood. So the thought that we could help kids right now, let them know that there are tools, there are adults who are out there rooting for them, that their feelings are valid. And if you're a kid watching this right now, I want you to know the adults aren't okay either, which probably makes your fears even bigger when you can see how stressed out your mom and dad are. Like, this is not an easy time for anyone, but as adults, we need to step up for the kids. They're the future. We need to make sure that they're okay, and we need to be there for them. And I think letting them know, checking in with them, being vocal, ending the stigma that mental health is somehow means that there's something wrong with you, that is not the case at all. I mean, everyone goes and gets a physical for their health, right? Their physical health. Why shouldn't we do the same every year with our mental health, just to check in with somebody? And when the statistics are this glaring about kids and mental health, we have to say something. We have to be vocal, even those of us without children. And at the end of this video, or at least in the information, I'm going to put tons of resources. If you're a kid out there and you need therapy, you need to talk to somebody. If you're, God forbid, in crisis, I will have numbers, I will have emails, I'll have all kinds of information in my information box of this video. But for the grown-ups out there, we need to be vocal. And for grown-ups who keep saying things like, oh, kids are resilient, kids are tough, let me say something to you. I was voted a top 100 speaker on mental resilience. And when you call somebody resilient, that's just a really nice way of saying that they've survived some really messed up stuff, okay? And there is no shame in having tools while you're going through the messed up stuff. And every kid in our country deserves tools. They deserve support. They deserve to know their feelings are valid. Their thinking maybe is being distorted by everything that's going on, and we need to give them the resources to help them get through this difficult time. So that's part one of this video. I plan on making an entire series that the kids are not okay and different things we can do as adults to help. I also plan on inviting kids to my studio or going to their homes and interviewing parents, interviewing teachers, interviewing students, getting an idea of what is going on in the lives of everybody. We're all suffering. And the teachers, the administrators, I just want to give a huge shout out to all of you. I know that this is not what you signed up for, and how you have been just doing what is asked of you, figuring out how to teach virtually, doing classrooms that are half virtual, half in person. I mean, truly, bravo, kudos, and that's why all other grown-ups need to step in. We need to step up. The teachers are overwhelmed. Doctors are overwhelmed. We're a community. It takes a village, okay? And I'm not talking like a M. Night Shyamalan village where it's really scary. No, a village of support. Every kid is our village. Every kid is our future. We need to help. So, adults, please speak up. Let kids know in your life that mental health is okay. Going to therapy is okay. Break the stigma. And at the smallest level, if you have friends with kids, you know a kid, you have a niece, a nephew, a cousin, just ask them how they're doing. Ask about school. Ask how they feel about things. Ask if they see their friends. Ask if they're lonely. Check in with everyone emotionally, but especially kids. They need us now more than ever. Thanks so much. My name's Bonesso, and I'll see you in part 2. Bye.